and welcome back to Ask a Cast, episode 2.
3.
Is it 3?
Yeah, because we did the first one with Monster Hunter, the second one with fucked up audio, and then this one.
Oh shit, it is!
It's the third one. We did a third one.
Well,
I even said,
did we call the pilot one 0 or something?
Oh, maybe. Well,
Well,
I don't even get... People are like, oh, it's the pilot episode. It's not the first one. It's like, but it is kind of the first one, even though it's
it's
the pilot.
our third podcast, okay.
Yeah, the third episode, it's the third one we're doing.
It's the third one, yeah.
Yeah. Long intro. Today we're gonna talk about I'm gonna bitch about stuff. Because I want to talk about Destiny. The first time in a long time I've been very disappointed in a game. Really disappointed. And, already started out like a bit pissy today, just being alive,
Yo, man, I'm so angry for being alive.
Just, when you're just like kind of angry, just for no reason, you're just kind of like, ugh. And it's because a couple of days ago I played Destiny 2, the second one, and there's an event going on right now with cool gear, actually cool looking gear, and the event is it's a PvP event, and the PvP is pretty shit. And so if we talk about like the loot at first in the game, Destiny is about the loot, right?
So it's like a continuous from last time? No, from the first podcast.
Well, it's more like loot boxes, but this is just like straight up loot, like the loot in the game.
Well, we did get into in the first one we did.
Yeah, but like gear and stuff,
Yeah.
Like any MMO. I know people are like, oh, Destiny's not an MMO, but it kinda is. Like a loot shooter or what, like Borderlands, right?
Yeah.
And you want cool gear, right? And like, oh, this is the cool gear I want. This is the stuff I want. The problem about the gear in Destiny, at least I feel, is that there's like no customization. Like in the first Destiny, like, oh, I want this gear because it reduces the cooldown on my super. I want this gear to cool down on my grenades, and like because I want to throw grenades all over the place. Now it's just like, oh no. You want mobility? You can get some mobility. You want resilience? You can get some of that. Or you can get some recovery to recover health faster, right? And it's like, that's not really that interesting, And already there, they remove a lot of customization just from that. And then they're like, oh, let's also fucking use these armor mods that you put on your gear. And they're one-time use only.
Just like the dying stuff?
Yeah, and it's like, okay, it's okay with the like one-time use thing, but the problem is that it takes so long just to get a specific one. Like, oh, you want reduced class ability on your void subclass? Well, tough luck, you don't have it for your helmet. You don't have it for your chest, So you need to grind, and it's random drops, but you only use it once. So you're sitting there, oh, but I don't want to use it on this ammo because it's fucking ugly, but it's the strongest one I have, It's like, what's the point? It's in Final Fantasy, because Scott plays a lot of Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I haven't played any of Destiny 2, so all the ranting Ask is gonna do today, I have no idea.
Yeah, but I'm like kind of... I want to like hear from your side, because you play Final Fantasy, which people say is a pretty good MMO.
It is.
Like I've only heard good stuff about it.
It has its faults, but
yeah, well, but it's more positive than negative, right?
Yeah.
But like when you get gear, how does it work in that game?
Like specific type of gear, or
like if you like you're gonna go out and like get some gear for your
well, the latest raid right now, the Return to Avalis update, the Rabanasta raid.
Yeah.
There is gear dropping from that is like, is eye level 330 is like one of the highest right now. Well, there's 340, but that one's really hard to get. That's like the big raid. That's Omega like Savage
But what does it do? Like, does it give you like it has like stamina and strength and stuff like that, right?
Oh, it's depending what for which class it drops for.
Yeah, but so if you're playing black mage, right?
Yeah.
You want
Then
intellect.
there's like gear that drops for casters.
Okay.
And the main stat for caster gear is intelligence.
Yeah.
Because it increased magic damage. And there's like vitality. Like the two main stats that's always in is for casters, for example, is intelligence and vitality. Then there's like some other stats.
Yeah.
That's included like spell speed or direct hit or critical hit.
Mm-hmm.
But that's for that gear set. There's like other gear set that's also like 330, but have like also like intelligence and vitality, but some other stats on it.
Mm-hmm. But like, see, like there you have all like the customization that I like. You know, you can be like, oh, I want the fucking cast speed go higher because that's really important. And
oh yeah, then you can also like put materia on it, like if you want to increase like a certain stat, so it's like a stat limit on that gear, and or you want like something else on it.
Exactly. And in Destiny, what do you have there? You have defense.
That's it.
That's it.
You can't customize it.
Nope. Well, then you can be like, oh, it has resilience and mobility. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could be like, okay, I want it to have a bit more resilience than mobility. Then that's it.
Wow, good game.
And it's like, what happened to like all the fucking crazy customization, you know? And then it's like, oh no, you know why there's no customization? Because it's all about the exotic armor, you know? It's about the exotic weapons. Like, okay. So all of a sudden it's like, okay, then the gear sucks, the armor gear. So I'm gonna get the exotic gear, right? But it's so like the exotics before were like crazy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And now they're so weirdly specific. It's like, oh, these pants makes it so that when you switch to your hand cannon, you have 2 seconds of improved accuracy. That's the ability. So, where before you had like, oh, these pants give you a triple jump. Oh, that's pretty cool, right? Oh, this fucking helmet makes it so that you can use the dodge roll without speccing it, you know? You just get the ability without you needing to put a point into it. So you can customize all around that.
Mm-hmm.
This thing makes it so when you kill people with your super, you gain more super energy. Oh, this thing does that. Your fucking your blink, the teleport thing. Oh, it's you can use it faster and you recover faster from it. And I was just like, well, these gloves makes it so you can punch, and the more you punch, the more damage you do. Like, oh, okay, but you would never use that in PvP.
But like, does that pile up, or it's like limited time?
3 times. It stacks up 3 times, but it's only 5 seconds.
Oh, that's lame.
So you need to keep like hitting people.
That's lame.
So you would never use that in PvP because you would never go that close to people and like try to hit people, you know?
Yeah.
That's fucking dumb. And like, there's so many like, oh, these pants makes it so when you use your rift ability, you reload your weapon.
Wasn't a dumbass skill.
It's like, oh, where's the crazy stuff, you know? Like, there's no crazy things. This is like the fucking most boring ass shit.
The fucking
ever.
skills that like you can do it yourself.
Yeah, it's like, what's the point? And they're like, oh, then the customization. It must be from the weapons. Okay, so the weapons now are all the like. So if you get a gun called Better Devils,
yeah,
Better Devils will be like the same gun for you as it is for me. Like when it drops, it has the exact same perks when you get it as when I get it.
Oh, so it's like not the random stats or anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
So before it was like, oh, you have the attack value, and then the perks are random. And then it was about getting that god roll, or like that roll that you really want, because that's the play style you play.
Yeah.
You know? Like, oh, I like my hand cannon to have these sights on it because it makes it so it's a bit easier to have headshots on it. And then I like it to have increased magazine size because I like a big magazine so I can just like shoot a long time without reloading. And then I want high caliber rounds because it gives a bit extra damage, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So you go after that role because that's what you want. But now it's just like, oh, this gun is always like this. No matter what, it's always like that. So all of a sudden, it's not really that exciting getting gear because, like, oh, I just got that gun. Like, you already know what it does because you had it before.
Yeah.
It's like, so no customization there either. Oh, no. Then the customization must be from the classes, right? Well, the classes is now choose a jump, choose a grenade, and then choose one of 2 talent trees.
Yeah.
And you can't mix between them. So you pick one of them, and then you get all 4 abilities. You can't like be like, oh, I want the melee ability from this one, but the super for that one. No. You pick one of them. You can't pick any of the other ones then. You pick one like cluster of abilities, and that's it. And I'm like, why? Where's the fucking fun in that? You know?
Yeah. I think like they made it like too simple.
No, well, the reason that they're doing is because of balance. Because they're trying to do like esports with the PvP. So if everybody has the same gun,
where's the strategy in customizing one strategy then?
Yeah,
it's either pick this or that.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, before we'd be like, oh, some people might run these abilities, which is maybe not the meta, but it works for him really well because he has weapons that support it, you know? And he has exotic gear that supports it. Whereas just like now, like, oh, the exotics are just kind of, and, you know, the weapons are all the same, and the abilities are just not that crazy, and it's just so like vanilla and, you know, esports-ish. Also the PvP, you know, you come into the PvP and like you get your super maybe once in a whole match.
Does it fill up that slowly? Or?
Yeah, because it's
where's the chaos fun in that?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's just not fun anymore. Like before, people were like, oh, this is so crazy and over the top and it's really hard because people just find supers all over the place and it's just too chaotic. I was like, yeah, that was the fun thing about it. It was 6v6 fucking space battles, you know?
Yeah.
And people like fucking shooting golden guns and firing nova bombs and titans throwing hammers and shit, you know?
Isn't that what the fun part is with being all these classes? And then you're gonna limit it to like, oh, it's never filling up at all.
Exactly. And then people are like, I saw this article where they said Destiny 2's PvP is super balanced, but it's super boring. You know? Because everybody uses the same weapon, Mida Multi-Tool, because it's the most OP weapon in the game. And then everybody just stands in the back and team shoots. So nothing like if you meet 2 people, you're dead no matter what. Before you could like juke them and throw grenades and shit, but because of the cooldowns are so slow now, even on grenades, you always off cooldown with the stuff. It's like, oh, what the I can't fucking use anything here, and you know everybody's just like, oh, I'm standing here in the back with my scout rifle and shooting across the map. Haha. So much fun. That's the whole game.
It's a sniper battle right now.
Yeah. And also, it's 4v4 now instead of 6v6.
That's less fun then.
Exactly.
What? This is 2 versus 2. 4 versus 4. Oh, sorry.
It's like 4 versus 4. Because I saw it said like in the trailer, it's like competitive 4v4. It's like, oh, okay, so they made a competitive mode that's always like 4v4, you know? And it's like, no. All PvP is just 4v4. And it's like, oh, okay. So can I play what I want to? Oh, no. We go Overwatch on that bitch. It's only quick play or competitive. You can't pick the game mode you want to play.
You like this game mode? You'll never get it.
Like, there's only 3 game modes in PvP right now. Unless you count the competitive. But I usually just play quick play, you know? You have Clash, which is team deathmatch. You have Supremacy, which is team deathmatch, just where you have to like secure the kills. Where you kill a guy, he drops a thing, and you need to pick it up to get points.
Oh, okay.
And then there's control, which is like capture points. So
Okay.
you have 2 deathmatch game modes where people just camp the fuck out of it the whole time because that's the gameplay in it.
Yeah, like the second one where you have to pick up the points. Then we just camp 2 places.
Yeah,
Oh, when one of them die, you protect that area. No one will get it
and there's like
until like he respawns and comes back, right?
and then you're like, oh, we killed a guy here. Okay, should we pick it up? Maybe not. Oh, our friend died here. Let's just wait for a guy on the other team to come and pick it up, and then we shoot him. You know?
No one will play that mode then because there will be no one will win. There's always be a draw.
And it's just there's also like people do win because what they do is like the first team who gets like 2 people killed, right? Because people spawn all over the map, and then the 4 people who are like still alive just find the people who are spawning alone and just shooting them. That's usually how it works.
So it's about like team group up and just hope for one of them dies and just try to find that guy's spawn point and kill him again.
And then just kill him. And then when the other team is like, oh, we're behind now. Because the team that's behind in a team deathmatch game mode is always the team that needs to engage, you know? Because they need the points. You win if the time runs out and you have more points. So you don't have to engage because you have more points.
Yeah.
So they need to do something. So they keep running into you, and you're just sitting there like shooting them, like pew pew pew. You just come over here, bitch, because you need the points. Pew pew pew. You know?
Oh look, you're even more behind now.
Exactly.
So it's just about like having the head start first.
Yeah, and it's very like steamrolly,
Yeah.
like what is it, like snowbally.
I think it's steamrolling.
Like no, it's like snowball. Like you just get a little bit of a lead, and it just keeps rolling, getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Steamrolling is just walking over the team.
Yeah, that's usually also what happens.
Yeah.
And also, isn't it a bad thing when usually the matches ends with just time running out instead of somebody actually
Reaching the goal.
The goal.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Like even
that's gonna be long matches. I wouldn't play
and like
that.
I think it has like 10 minutes is like a match, but it's maybe it's 8 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes, I think.
Still, if match is gonna be like that, just waiting the clock.
Yeah,
that's boring.
It's like you win when you get to like 100 points, but they usually end around the 65 points because time runs out.
Then they should probably adjust it to 50 points then.
Exactly. But the gameplay is just so slow that everybody's just standing back. Oh man, it's so dumb.
They should make major adjustments to that. Instead of 100, make it 50.
Like I would say to the PvP, right? In quick play, make it 6v6 again. And have competitive 4v4. That's okay. And then make it so I can pick my fucking game mode, because I don't want to play team deathmatch because it's so boring.
Or adjust the cooldowns at least.
And also, they removed all the game modes. They removed
from the first game?
Yeah. In the first game, they have like control, team deathmatch. They had they added supremacy later. They had Rift, I think it was called. It was like this capture the flag-ish kind of mode, where instead of like you go to the enemy's base, capture the flag, take it back. It was like a ball in the middle of the map, and then you fought to get the ball, and when you got it, you needed to take it to the opponent's base and score a point.
Oh, it's like football.
Yeah, and it was super fun, especially if you get like a kind of coordinated team, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna grab this, and all the other guys on my team are gonna use their supers to clear out the whole base, so I can go in and score. And then they had like this thing that if you jumped up and scored like flying backwards into it, you get even more points because it's more stylish.
Oh, so there's style points even.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So like if you go up, it just like slam dunks it like normally. But if you fly backwards up there, he does like a backflip and slams it in.
Oh, that's cool.
It was so much fun. And it was like, no. Team deathmatch.
Let's make it more fun, like if you get style points to like showing off.
It's like, oh, so maybe you could like use some of your super bar to get even more points. Like to do like tricks and stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It would be super fun. I was like, no. We can't have fun.
I bet they're gonna do it like in an update, like in 2018. It was like, oh, we read all your feedback, so we're gonna bring these modes back. That probably should have been from the very beginning.
Now that's the thing, like, one of my friends...
But it's gonna be an expansion, so you have to buy the expansion to get these modes.
One of my friends that I'm playing with, he's like, well, it probably just gonna add it later. You know, they're kind of like lowballing it right now because they don't want to achieve, go too crazy and fuck up, you know? It's like, what are you talking about, bro?
They should have done that.
Like,
this should have gone too crazy.
The thing is,
give something, give the players stuff to play with. Not just like, here's a field, go do that.
Yeah.
Not give them like more fields to do whatever.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, okay, so Destiny 1, when it came, like when the beta was out, it had missions until level 8, and then you could do a few strikes. I think there was 2 strikes you could do. Strike missions. You could run around in the hub world and just do some patrols and just fuck around. And then they had PvP with 2 game modes, I think. I was thinking it was just control and team deathmatch.
That was better, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
When the game came out, it had all the game modes. I think it had like 5 game modes. Maybe 4. 5, I can't remember. And bunch of strikes, all this shit, you know? And the game was still kind of, but then it got better, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Then the expansion came out. They added some more stuff. They added Prison of Elders. They added more raids. They added more strikes. They had all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Then it did Taken King, and the game got pretty good there. And then it did Rise of Iron, and then the game got really good. And then they do Destiny 2, and then it's just all back to square one with Destiny 1, you know? And the thing is I would say it's worse than Destiny 1.
How come there's like, oh, we have this great success with the expansion of Destiny 1? Let's forget that.
Exactly. It's like, there's just like...
Let's not look at that again.
There's like all these things.
We're throwing out all our success. Start with garbage.
It's pretty funny because there's some an exotic ammo piece called Sunbracers, which is like the perfect like metaphor for Destiny 2 right now. So these Sunbracers, right?
Yeah.
When they came out they've been in Destiny since from the start. Nobody used them because they're pretty weak. And then Bungie was like, "Hey, you know what? We're gonna buff them. Give them. You have 2 grenades now, and they last even longer. It's like a AoE grenade, and they're gonna do a bit more damage. Cool shit, right? So you have 2 grenades. Before you only had 1, so you like throw fucking double of them, right? So that was awesome. So that's still not the greatest thing, but it was pretty fun. And then Destiny 2 comes out. And then they revert Sunbracers back to Destiny 1 with only 1 grenade. And it's just like, oh, increased duration, but nothing else. It's like, what? Why isn't it like in the... You said nobody used it when it was only 1 grenade. Then you do 2 grenades, people start using it, and then you go back again to 1 grenade.
Something's going wrong in their decision making.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, we have all this successful stuff happening right now.
It's just fucking weird, you know?
It's like they lost all their data for all that shit.
Oh, that's what happened.
But they're not gonna admit it.
Well, they said that they fixed the engine because apparently the engine they had before was really hard to update.
Oh, that's the problem. So everything in that update got lost.
It got lost.
So we couldn't bring it over. Instead of like researching from the previous updates and doing it manually, it was like start from scratch.
Yeah.
Start from scratch. That'll work out. No one will notice. No one notice that their gear that was perfect for them is crap.
Now it's crap. Nobody's gonna use it anyway, so nobody used it before. Nobody gonna use it now. They won't notice. Oh, man, it's...
Rating forums. we have any maintenance. No one can post anything.
So as I've told you about the shaders.
Yeah, the dyeing thing.
Yeah, you can dye your armor different colors, but it's one-time only use shaders.
Yeah, Angry Joe was complaining about that one too.
So I think the funny thing is that I don't know. Like, I was a shader hoarder, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's what I'm collecting. I like the shaders. I like having all the shaders. I can like mix and match all the different armor, you know? So now it's one-time use. I'm like, oh man, that fucking sucked dicks, you know? Because now I can't collect those. The only thing you can collect now is emblems. Kind of sucks. And then I noticed, hey, there's no fucking ships in this game. Like before, you could like collect ships, like spaceships.
Oh yeah, those.
There's no ships in this game.
So everyone has the same ship when they like team up, or you never see that.
Well, there are ships, but it's basically like 4 different ships.
Oh, based on your story choice?
No. It's just there's only 4 models, and then they just have a different like
Color scheme?
Yeah,
Oh.
and that's it. And now you
So nothing from the previous game comes over?
No.
What?
Nothing. Also, you don't get anything at all if you play Destiny 1. Nothing. Not even like a little like, oh, you have this thing. Nothing. Well, you're okay, you get one thing. You get a, when you start the game, it tells you what you did in the first game.
A little recap in the first game?
It's just you come into the game and it tells you, oh, you were there when, and you defeated this guy. And if you didn't complete the raid, it didn't tell you that you completed it. So that's it.
Man, there's a lot of wrong going on with Destiny 2. But I'm calling it they're gonna put more stuff in expansion and be like, oh, you remember this game mode? We're bringing it back. I was like, oh yeah, nostalgia kicking.
That's the thing. Like, you open up your Destiny box, and right there is like, boom, expansion pass right there. 2 expansions, season pass right there.
Oh yeah, Angry Joe was super angry about that.
They did it in the first game, right? And it was pretty shitty.
And then they're doing it again.
And then they're doing it again.
Oh, people hated it. Let's keep the hate up.
Let's do it again.
People hated it so much. Let's keep it up.
I just don't get why they would go so far back on the whole game, you know? It's just like, there are some good stuff. Like, the shooting is fun. The story is decent and some fun missions, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I know some people really hate the story, and it's not good, but it's fun to play through. And it's a beautiful game, you know? The music is awesome. I don't know why Angry Joe hated on the graphics. I think it looks really good. Has a really cool style. Looks like Star Wars. But it's a really good like game on the outside, and then you start playing and it's like, oh man, this is really bad. You know, it's dumb. It's a really dumb game. I would probably, the thing is that, as I said, Destiny came out, it was probably like a 6. And then Taken King got it up to a 7, and then Rise of Iron got it up to an 8. So you're ending your game on an 8, right?
So it's like throughout the game they're like, oh, what's wrong with this one? Let's improve that. Oh,
exactly.
What's wrong with this one? Oh, let's improve that. Then Destiny 2. What's wrong with this one? Let's remove that. No, what was good with this one?
What was good with this one? Yeah.
What was good with Destiny 1 and its expansion? Let's remove that.
No, man. Out. Get out.
Get out. Get out. We have a new storyboard here.
So when I'm like playing Rise of Iron, I was like, this is an 8 for me. And they've just kept improving the game, you know? So of course, Destiny 2 is gonna be a 9, you know? Maybe not a 9, but at least an 8.
Yeah.
Maybe a 7 if like some of the things that would fuck up, you know? But I would say it's probably worse than Destiny 1. Because there's so little stuff to do. So the end game, that's what everybody talks about in MMO, right?
Well, they had a story this time.
Well, yeah, but
how is that?
The story is fine.
Is it?
It's just fine.
Okay.
It's nothing crazy, and it's just fine. But like the end game, right?
Mm-hmm.
In Final Fantasy, what do you do? Like, you have weekly things you can do, right?
Yeah.
So how long does it take you to do your weekly stuff?
Like there's different right now. There's like I'm not so much into like different kind of raids, but there's like we have Omega raid.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 4 dungeon right now, and then there's this Savage, like this extra hard but greater rewards. And now we have the big 24-man Alliance raid. That also has like weekly rewards and that.
Mm-hmm.
It depends like how good of a team you could get in.
You also have PvP, right?
PvP is not so popular.
But there is PvP,
There is
right?
PvP, yeah. There's also PvP rewards. Like they're doing some special armor right now. If you like the top 100, you can get like a special armor that was like a armor contest that someone won that you can win it.
But so the weekly stuff you have in Destiny, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm excluding the raid right now because I haven't done that one. I didn't do it. I haven't done it at all. So actually, I can't say anything about the game because I haven't done the raid. You know. But so I was playing on my main, my Warlock.
Yeah.
I come in. I'm like, weekly reset. Let's do this. I'm done in 2.5 hours with everything for the rest of the week.
Okay, you can't do that with the Final Fantasy.
So I completed my PvP, all the PvP I can do for a week. Well, I can't play more, but the rewards I can get. You know? I did that. I did this called Flashpoint thing, which is also it's public events on the planets.
Yeah.
Then I did the Nightfall, like the super hard strike. I did what did I do? Oh, I also did the PvP event stuff. I did the clan. You can get, if you're in a clan, you can get clan XP and get gear from that. So every week, you can get like a certain amount of XP, and if you do that for your clan, you get some gear. I did that, and I did some other stuff I can't really remember because it's so fucking boring. But I did all of that in 2.5 hours. It's like, okay, so what am I gonna do for the rest of the week in this game? You know, I'm already done. So I guess I'm just gonna wait for next week. I guess. Like, what's the point? Like in Final Fantasy, I could imagine. Even when I played World of Warcraft, you know.
Oh, there's a lot of in-game. Like it's not even like there's also crafting in-game. There's also weekly stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Then you like cap like some tombstones. Like you have weekly capping, like of 450.
Is that like some like faction based stuff?
No, it's like a currency thing.
Okay.
And you can use that to buy like good gear.
Mm-hmm.
And the top, like getting those gear can take a long time because you can like depending on which piece, you can like get only one piece gear a week.
Okay.
And the example, like say like the top gear, like the jacket or whatever, it will take you 2 weeks to get that one.
Okay.
For example.
Mm-hmm.
And then the pants also takes like 2 weeks worth of capping the currency.
Yeah.
And the rest is like one piece a week, and sometimes you can get 2 pieces a week, depending how much you do it.
Mm-hmm. Is it, so the gear, right?
Mm-hmm.
The gear you get there. How long did it take you to get, like, I don't know? Do you have the best gear you can have?
Right now, I'm not so much into it, but I got like half best gear.
But how long do you think it would take to get like the best gear?
From the
if I start a new character right now.
Oh, it will take you some time. If you go for creation gear, that will take you a month or less than 2 months.
Like creating it yourself?
No. That's what it's called right now. The latest tombstone currency thing.
Yeah.
Because the top costs like you can get 450 per week.
Mm-hmm.
That's the cap. And the top piece is like 825, and the pants is also 825. While the rest of gear is like 400 something.
Yeah.
So you're already 4 weeks on the top and pants. That's like a month already.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest is also like 5 pieces. And then there's accessories. So like 2 months till you get everything on that one. If you go for that one. Then there's also another route by the raid now, the new 24-man raid. You can get
Mhm.
a piece there per week.
Okay.
So that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's like 6 pieces there you can get. So that's 6 weeks if you
But
get one.
is it random?
Yeah, it's random.
Okay, so
But there's like 3, 4 bosses, so there's a drop on each boss.
okay.
But the specific type of gear drops at what boss. Like the first boss drops like boots and gloves,
Mm.
and the second boss drops like hat and belts, and the third and fourth boss has a chance to drop the pants and the chest piece, stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Okay. Because
And be like, oh, I didn't get this one. Just run it again.
yeah, because in Destiny, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember right when the raid came out, everybody was already like the highest level they could be.
When Destiny 2 came out?
Yeah.
What?
Like right when the raid came out, it came out the first week. I saw people who were like almost already at level 300. And that's the highest you can get.
Damn.
And then you'd be like, oh, there's probably just some people who played it a lot, you know? But I
You look at like the player counts playtime 2 hours.
like I haven't played that much. I think I've probably played 20 hours, maybe. Maybe more than that, I think. Not maybe 30, 40 hours on my Warlock, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I am light level 298, and I play super casual. You know, I don't even do.
And you're already most at the level.
I don't even do the raid or anything. I'm just like fucking around.
And you're almost at the max level.
Yeah, the max level is 305, and like what? It's so easy to get like the best gear. You know?
Yeah. In Final Fantasy, you can do it casually, but it's gonna take time. If you want to get faster, you like work for it like more, but it
Yeah.
still takes time. Not like, oh, it only took me 3 hours to get. Like,
Yeah.
What yours makes it sound like.
Well, I just feel I've just seen so many people like right when the raid was like, the raid is coming, fucking tomorrow, let's get ready, blah, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then people are already almost level 300. It's like, but I thought you were supposed to do the raid to get to 300, you know. Like the raid is where you get the best gear, but it's like no.
The raid is the one who will get the worst gear.
The raid is where you get to not look like a hobo.
Yo, man, I gotta get rid of my hobo gear, even though it always makes me look like it always makes me level 300.
Exactly. Like one of the fucking warlock items is like just a fucking. It's just like a fucking like a towel around you, and it's like legendary gear. I was like, well, it looked like a fucking space hobo.
Like an emo, like spares and
Give me change.
fucking cup.
Oh, man, it's also, you know, it's also not cool playing a game where none of the gear really looks that cool. Because you play games like this to be a fucking badass, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then you get like, you play hunter, you know?
Get hobo gear.
you play like you play the hunter, and you fucking love the cloaks.
You fucking get shoes that's made of plastic bags and strings.
But you play as the hunter, it's like, oh man, I really want the fucking badass cloak. And it's like, whoa, I got a legendary cloak, finally. You put it on, and it's just like a fucking sash bag, and just like put on your head, and it's just like, oh, we just put on some cloth on your back, and that's a fucking legendary thing. It's like, what?
It's like I think it's like oh, it's the distant future. Like all the backwards thinking is like the high tech stuff, and all the high tech stuff is like the low gear.
Then you could say I even defended it at first because I thought it was cool, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But in the story, everything is destroyed, the whole city.
Yeah, I saw something like
the
that.
Fucking cabal,
Like the what's it called? The moon thing.
the traveler.
Yeah, the traveler got like
Yeah,
kidnapped or destroyed, whatever.
he like puts like this shield thing around it to like capture its light.
Oh, to block all the connection with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he destroys the whole city, and then I do like that the gear you get looks kind of ragtag. Like, oh, I have a fucking t-shirt on right now, but I'm in space, but who cares, you know?
I'm a robot. I don't give a shit.
So I can dig that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That the reason the gear looks kind of destroyed and shitty is because they need to put the gear together themselves because it's all destroyed.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. But it's not cool when you get to like the best gear and you still look like that. They're kind of like, wow, what the fuck? Why do I look like a space hobo?
Why do I have lion cloth on?
And that's the reason I wanted the PvP gear, because it's like this cool, kind of like Japanese armor-ish thing, like Oriental armor.
Yeah.
Looks really cool. But why isn't there other gear that also looks cool? I'm not saying there should also be like this Japanese armor stuff, but why is there so little gear that looks like cool high-level gear? Like, why do I need to look like a guy with a trash bag on his head? You know?
Maybe it's just their version of high class gear. Look like fucking hobos.
Because when I got my
like Bunge's explanation. Oh, we're in the distant future. There's no homeless, and therefore the homeless look is the high class gear.
It's just when I got to my hunter and I got my first cloak, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like, is this supposed to be high level? It just looks like a fucking rag, you know?
Like fucking paper towel. That's
And
just together.
I got some legendary pants, and it looks like fucking just some standard like jeans with some boots. Like, oh, they've got a little bit of scratch on one of the legs, you know?
Is this used?
Is this supposed to be space? I guess. Is this space gear? Oh, okay. I can go out in space with this gear? Okay. Like, I don't get it. Like, at least make the end gear. Well, they did, because the raid gear looks like you look like a space priest.
A space priest.
Yeah.
He went from hobo to priest.
So
He found religion.
The Titan, he looks like he kind of just looks like a standard Titan, just with white gear.
Okay.
And then
Like buff-ish armor.
yeah, but the shoulder looks kind of weird, you know, but it's okay.
Okay.
Then the Warlock one looks like a priest. And then the
Well, they kind of like warlock priest.
and then the hunter, he looks like a what's it called, like
Ronald McDonald.
what's it called, a nomad? Those fucking guys out in deserts, which is basically homeless people. You know? Okay, maybe not homeless, because they have like tents and they like put up camps, you know?
I get what you mean.
But like always like on the movie, like, oh, that's what a hunter does. But like, yeah, but why does he? The Titan looks like a fucking badass warrior dude, and the Warlock looks like this fucking high class priest who can shoot magic. And then we're a hunter. He just looks like a guy from the desert, just a random dude. Well, he has a cool mask on, you know.
Well, duh. If it's from the desert.
And then the mask kind of looks like a gas mask. Ugh. You know.
Yeah, what kind of desert is he from?
The space desert.
Yo, man, he doesn't want to get sand in his mouth.
Exactly. No, that's space sand. It's itchy. It gets everywhere. Star Wars jokes.
Have you been in the windy desert? You don't want sand in your face. That's why you wear a mask.
I don't know. It's yeah. It's a rough time playing that game. And you know, I bought it for like, if in dollars, I think it's like $120 I paid for it, because I got the collector's edition. And then I'm now like, I paid so much money, so I need at least to play some of it.
You need to enjoy it for the money you gave for it.
Yeah, at least like I paid for it, so I should fucking play some of it. You know?
Yeah, I get it.
And it's just every time I turn it on, it's just like,
I just turned on disappointment.
yeah, exactly.
Time to insert disappointment.
Oh man, it's a rough one. And also, Scott and I talked about this before, but I mentioned it. But the reviews for the game is insane. it's all like 9s and fucking like 8.8 because
8.9 out of 10 because we were bought by Activision.
I feel like there's some weird like
there's some money under the table ish.
I feel like it because if you look at the user scores, it's like 6 point something, 5 point something. You know,
it's probably like, oh, can you give it a good score? Just like promote our game to give it. Oh no, they said it's a good game. Maybe we can like, like, I think it's like to get fake high scores to get more customers to get it.
But then again, maybe the guy who reviewed it for IGN is just a huge Destiny fanboy, a Bungie fanboy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of the problem I feel with the game journalism part when you have giant websites, because you don't know the specific person's taste. You know, I know at the end it says Dave Mitchell likes Super Mario Bros. You know, but who doesn't? But you know what I mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you need to like specifically go in and see.
It's like, his main game is first-person shooter, reviewing JRPG.
Exactly, and then it's like, man, this game fucking sucks.
Yo, man, I need more first-person segments.
And then it's like, too much water, you know?
Wasn't that a Pokemon review joke?
That's fucking dumb.
Too much water.
Too much water.
7.8. People are not gonna forget that. They're still joking about it to this day.
It is pretty funny. Too much water. Like that's a
7.8.
minus. Well, because I remember when Pro Jared reviewed Metal Gear Rising, he gave it a 4, I think.
It's not a 4 game.
Where he was like, he said that he enjoyed the game, but for him, it wasn't a Metal Gear Solid game at all.
Oh, no.
And that's what he had hoped for.
It's like a spin-off of Metal Gear?
Yeah. And he was really disappointed with the end boss. And he said that had a really large impact on like what he thought about the game. And he just thought it was dumb fun, but nothing incredible, you know? And I was like, okay, I know what he likes. I know Pro Jared, he likes JRPGs.
Yeah.
He likes stealth in games. He likes this stuff. He likes this. But that's the thing. We know what he likes. And then people go in and bitch about it like, well, fuck you, dude. You didn't like the game. I was like, well, the reason you watch these kind of reviews is that you kind of get a bit more like personal. Like, I'm not saying like I know him.
Like you get his tastes.
Because I know what he likes. Yeah. So I can understand where it is. Where with these like giant websites where they have multiple people writing for it, it says like the IGN review. Yeah, but who reviewed it for IGN? You know, it could be one of like 50 people. And maybe one of the 50 really liked it. One of the other 50 really hated it, you know? At least I get like one person, his opinion. I know what he likes and seen all these other reviews, you know?
I haven't... Does Game Reactor still give out their magazines?
No, it's only online now.
Oh, okay. But I just remember when they still did it,
Mm-hmm.
they had some reviews where they had like a second opinion.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That was a good way of like getting a second opinion.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this guy wrote this whole article. And then you have a little box of a second opinion giving a different score.
Yeah, that's true. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good.
That was a good way of doing it. Maybe IGN should do that like at the end.
Yeah.
Like having a second opinion.
Yeah. I just feel like I don't really watch IGN, and I watch game trailers because I actually feel like
they're more legit.
They were a bit fanboyish here and there, yeah, but they seemed a bit more consistent in what they liked.
FPS,
and then also, I know this is a fucking weird thing to say, but it was always the same guy who voiced who did the voiceover for the review video. Which I really enjoyed because then at least there was like consistency there, you know? It was always the same guy talking. So it felt more like, oh, this is like the website talking to me, you know?
Yeah.
Instead of just being like, hello, I'm from the IGNs. My name is Alex Brandon.
I have never done this before. It's my first try.
First time recording, first
like,
time
you
listener.
Just hear in the background, he's dropping papers like, oh shit.
So I like that with game trailers, but I go for more like the personal reviewer, like the Kedikarus, the Pro Jarretts, the classic game room.
The Jontrons.
Well, that's more like fun. He doesn't really do new games, but
he's doing like movies, and his latest one is like a reaction video.
That was pretty funny. But you know, that's just what I kind of like it when it's a bit more personal.
Yeah,
you know?
I get you.
Instead of the whole like, we're a giant website and we review games. It's like, I'm one person and I review games. I like that more.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of the whole...
Until he gets like, oh, you really like your reviews. How about you come to our great big company?
Yeah. I don't know. It's, yeah.
It's gonna be like at the end of like, IGN just go to Steam reviews and just compile like an article.
Let's see what this... Oh, let's review this game. Just go to Steam and see what people say about it.
You just take bits from all the reviews and put it in like in one article and make it look like it's just one person.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking dumb. Also, it was also the thing with the guy who was really bad at Cuphead, right?
Yeah.
He also reviewed the game, right?
Yeah.
And he gave it a bad score, right?
The joke was that he like spent like half an hour on that tutorial part and he couldn't get up there.
No. He spent he did get further than that in a half hour, but I think he spent like 15 minutes on the tutorial, and then he played like the first boss and then the first run and gun level. I don't even think he completed like the first boss or anything. Too hard.
Wow, that's not how you give a review. It's like, oh, the first 10 minutes I didn't like.
But
bad game.
But if he did like a bad review for it, right? Then as we talked about with the skip boss button, there's one of this article about like Cuphead should have a skip boss button.
Yeah.
That
when you demand a skip boss button, that the game is not for you, and what are you doing?
Yeah, and as I said, the only reaction for that is get good. It's literally only time I would say that to anybody. Literally, get good.
Yeah.
I don't know. And also, yeah. Okay, not yeah, but game reviewers should be capable at gaming. You know? They shouldn't be good, like amazing. Well, yeah, they should be good, but they shouldn't be fucking amazing.
They should be decent and like, fucking think for yourself kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not be like, oh shit.
Because I feel maybe with Destiny having so good reviews, right?
Also,
because
I think it's like also like
game.
Explore the game, not go like through the game.
Because I feel like if you just went through the campaign in Destiny, and that was basically it, I would say like, oh, the production values is really high and the shooting mechanics are really fun and all this stuff, you know? Oh, the story wasn't really that good, but the gameplay mechanics were awesome, you know?
Mm-hmm.
The encounters were fun. Oh, that's a 9 out of 10, you know? And then they just like leave the game there. But then they haven't like gone into it, like...
Yeah. They hadn't like explored the game.
Yeah. Let's play Cuphead. Oh, I suck at it. Man, this game is bad.
Yo, man, this game is hard. 0 out of 10.
Well, it says it on the box that it's hard. Like, that's part of, like, the whole thing. That it's hard.
Oh, yo, man, this game plays like Dark Souls. 0 out of 10.
My God. The Dark Soul of platformers. I don't know.
When did Dark Souls become its own difficulty? I hate that term.
It's funny because it's the same. Have you seen Jaws, right? The shark movie.
Yeah. No.
Well, you know what it's about.
Yeah.
It's about a shark.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's a super popular movie. And then people started saying that, oh, this movie is gonna do what Jaws did for the ocean, you know? So this movie about
breathing,
about scary girls inside mirrors, you know, is gonna do the same thing for mirrors that Jaws did for the beach.
That people were gonna be scared of mirrors?
Yeah, because people started getting scared to go to the beach because there could be sharks, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you get scared of mirrors because there could be a scary girl in the mirror, you know? So it's kind of like the Dark Soul thing, you know? Just like, take this thing and just compare it to this thing, even though it doesn't really have to do anything with each other, you know? this isn't the same movie as Jaws in any way. And
It's like this platformer that plays nothing like Dark Souls and call it Dark Souls.
yo, man, that's Dark Souls. Like, what was the game you played?
Which one?
Search.
Ah, The Search, yeah.
Yeah.
That one plays like Dark Souls, but it's in a futuristic setting.
As I said, like, that is sci-fi Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Because it has the gameplay of Dark Souls in a sci-fi setting. Crash Bandicoot isn't Dark Souls. Like, that's really stretching it, you know?
Yo, man, you don't know about the dodge mechanics in the Crash Bandicoot?
You know about those sick boss battles that takes, like, forever? It doesn't only, like, take, like, 3 to 5 hits?
When you're about to die, you use the Estus Flask, man. Forget about the Uka Uka mask.
Yo, man, the Uka Uka mask equals Estus Flask. It's exactly the same gameplay mechanic. No difference.
What was the game before Dark Souls? Dragon Souls or something like that?
Demon Souls.
Oh, Demon Souls.
Yeah.
No one is mentioning that game, even though that was the original Dark Souls.
Well, it was because of the licensing stuff.
Really?
Yeah, because it's Atlas, right? Who published that one? Who made Dark Souls?
It's software, isn't it?
No.
It's not?
What? Well, if you have Dark Souls, then check it. But Demon Souls, right? Atlas published it. And then...
Oh, fuck, where is it?
Dude, you have a computer, you can just search.
Oh. My bad!
So when they wanted to make a sequel, they were like, oh, but we won't fucking have the sequel because Demon Souls didn't do that well, you know?
Developers from software.
And then it's Atlas who published it, right?
Doesn't say.
But yeah, so they were like, oh, fuck that shit, we're gonna do our own thing. Does it say it up there?
Publisher, Atlas, yeah.
Yeah.
And Namco Bandai in Europe.
Yeah, but they have problems with the publisher, and they're like, oh, fuck that, we're gonna do our own thing, and then make Dark Souls.
Okay.
So it's technically like a spin-off sequel, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like still the same. Like there's also some of the same monsters, you know? And
It plays exactly the same.
Yeah.
But it's just a forgotten game.
You haven't played it?
I have it, but I have never completed it.
You have it, but you never completed it?
Yeah, I should do a day just only playing Demon Souls.
I started playing like pretty far into it, and then I was just like, didn't really. There's something just that just kind of bugs me, you know. I don't know. The world just didn't really do it for me. I feel like they did it better in Dark Souls.
That's probably it.
Because it just seems like Demon Souls is like a good idea, but they kind of perfected it in Dark Souls.
Yeah, I guess so.
I haven't played Dark Souls 2 or 3, so I can't talk about those.
I heard Dark Souls isn't good, Dark Souls 2 not so good, but they came back with Dark Souls 3 being better.
But you have Dark Souls 3, right?
No, I actually don't have that.
Oh, okay.
I think it's like Dark Souls 2 was made by some other director.
Okay.
That's why it wasn't so good
Okay.
as the first one. And then the director from the first game came back with Dark Souls 3. Something like that. I'm not really sure on that. But I just heard that Dark Souls 2 wasn't as good.
Yeah. You also have a Neo.
Oh yeah, Neo.
That's also kind of Dark Souls.
Yeah, but in the Japanese setting.
And also, like, the fighting is way different.
Oh yeah. The fighting mechanics is way different than Dark Souls, but
yeah.
the way it plays is very like Dark Soul-ish.
Yeah.
But it branches off for being its own thing by the way you fight in that game.
Yeah, and also, isn't the fucking...
And also, it's not one, you have areas. It's not like one big world where you
That's what I tried to say. What I was about to say levels, but it's not really levels, is it?
No, it's like areas.
Yeah.
Because you have sub-quests in these areas and stuff like that. Where in Dark Souls, it's just one big world you're connected to.
Yeah, and then it's like, you find the shortcuts. And
yeah, like shortcuts here and there.
It's like also in Bloodborne.
Yeah, Bloodborne. That's how you call that? The time era, Victorian
Yeah.
era, something like that. Yeah.
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 And it's also kind of like the whole like Lovecraft stuff, like the Cthulhu
Oh yeah, yeah.
mythos stuff.
You never completed Bloodborne either.
No, fucking what was his name?
Abra-esque frescling.
Yeah. Fucking weird. I was actually looking through one of my old sketchbooks. And I had
You found it?
I had a drawing of him in it. The one where he says, "I've seen some shit."
That's how we made him.
Yeah. It's pretty funny.
It's too bad we didn't like go off more with that. It's also because of like the quality the internet I had at that time, like the quality videos I had of it was really bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, that's why I like didn't want to upload it, because I didn't feel like it was up to quality.
Mm.
But now that I have super internet, like everything I have on that's saved on Twitch right now is like great quality. I could also just record it.
Yeah. I want to play Bloodborne again sometime.
Return of Abra-esque frescling, should we call it
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because, you know, I really want to complete that game, but I'm just so bad at those games. Like the whole Dark Souls, Bloodborne-ish thing.
should we like when we play it again? Should we like take turn on deaths and stuff like that?
We could do that.
Yeah, because I feel like I want you to experience the game too, not just only me all the time.
But I like watching people play games.
I know you enjoy watching me play, but sometimes I feel like you should enjoy it too.
You also want people to enjoy.
It's like don't let me have all the fun.
But I'm having fun watching you play.
I know, but I still get that feeling.
You know why? It's because I'm a younger sibling, you know?
Oh yeah, you're the little brother you give
Yeah.
the fake controller to.
Then it's like
Then he pretends he's playing.
because I remember when my sister and I played games, we took turns normal stages, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then boss battles I did, and my sister did the time trial levels. That was like always the thing. So like the running levels, like the fast fucking Crash Bandicoot, right? The like when you needed to run from the boulder. That was also always my sister who did that, and the racing levels and in Jack and Daxter and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's always her. And I did the boss battles, and then we just took turns with the other stuff. That was the rules. That's how it was. I don't know. I just I really enjoy watching games, but I don't really enjoy playing them that much more. It's weird.
It's like, it reminds me. What do you call Fritidskämpoing?
Oh, I don't know, like the fucking that thing.
Well, we don't know the English word for it,
It's like
but
this.
it's an after-school thing, kind of.
Yeah, the place where it's part of like the school sometimes, and then you go there after school until your parents are done at work.
It's like
so
a
they can pick you up.
It's not a kindergarten or, but it's.
It doesn't matter. What about
Doesn't it? I just remember like we have like this place where we have like a computer room where people could
Oh
play.
yeah,
And then we have like a schedule, like you can put your time on.
yeah.
And I made like a sign of a wolf or something we'd like take turns and like we just put our sign on when we want to play and stuff. It's like
Mhm.
schedule. I like put my time and they were like playing I think Lion King for example on the PC.
Yeah.
And like me, I'm pretty good at games. And I was like, oh, I'm pretty good. It's like, oh, my time is running out. Also, the guy like that's after me is like, I'm gonna give my time to you.
Just keep playing because you're far in the game.
Yeah, this is like because I'm so good at the game, good at games. People give time to me to keep playing.
Yeah. I remember also at the Fritidshjem. What is that called? Google it.
I'm gonna Google it.
I'm gonna.
So we're not gonna confuse you guys. It's like,
Yeah.
what the hell are they talking about? Like when we're like teenage years ish.
No, like when I was at it, I was like 10-ish, I think. But yeah, when I was there, I played Street Fighter for the first time.
It says after school center.
Okay, so
If you guys can understand what that means, that's what it means. Like,
Yeah.
it's a place like for kids to hang out after school
until like the parents are done at work.
until they close, or you can like hang out until they close and just go home.
Oh yeah, but like
when your parents pick up, yeah.
Yeah, when you're a bit younger and you go there, it's like, oh, it's because the parents are at work, so when they're done, they come there and pick you up instead of you being home alone.
Yeah.
But I played Street Fighter there for the first time.
But it's like it's not like.
Well,
calling it daycare center is like saying it's like for babies, but it's kind of like that, but like not for babies, but for like 10 years old and up.
Yeah, but I played Street Fighter there from the first time. I've told you that we had rules when we played Street Fighter, and there were a few rules. Right, first rule: if you played as the postman, you couldn't do the vacuum attack. That was illegal.
Is that Ryu?
That's Bison.
Oh, Bison.
When he slides on the ground because he sucks you in like shh. He sucks himself over to you. That's the vacuum attack. Like, dude, man, this is old school fucking fucking esports rules, because the Snake Man,
Dalsim,
he was banned. You couldn't pick him
because of his long range attacks.
He was too OP. He was just banned. You couldn't pick him. That was cheating, you know. And also another thing was the Spike Man. You could, if you used him, you couldn't use the long range spike attack. That was also banned move.
Spike Man.
Garuda. He's in the new fucking that fighting game that weird team is doing.
Garuda?
Yeah, Google him. He's the fucking guy. He has like a samurai suit on and a fucking skeleton face, and then he has spikes on him. That guy.
Oh, okay, that guy.
He's fucking cool. But man, he was like, you couldn't pick that guy because he had long range spike attack. So yeah, those three rules were just like house rules.
And so any character that has long range attacks are banned.
Well, we didn't know that about Hadoukens and stuff.
Yeah, okay.
We didn't know that would. So just characters who had good normals, you know,
like close combat.
Oh no, like long range stuff was banned. Like you could only pick the close combat. So long range Snake Man, no Snake Man.
Dalsim, by the way, guys.
Yo, man, that Snake Man with his fucking long ass punches, man. That's some cheating, bro. We can't have that. It's pretty funny. I like how kids just make rules like that. Like, it needs to be fair for everybody. Nobody picks the Snake Man.
I'm pretty sure I had some rules when I was a kid, but I don't remember any of them.
Yeah. Should we end it?
Yeah, we've been doing this for 1 hour and 8 minutes-ish.
That sounds pretty good.
So, guys, we're gonna end it here. Asses did most of the talking today.
Yeah, well, I also had most to say.
Well, you're talking about a game I haven't played, so yeah.
Yeah, well, I haven't played Final Fantasy. I'm asking about stuff in that game.
I'm not asking about Destiny because I'm not interested.
And then I'm like, hey, what about in Final Fantasy? Because that seems like a good game.
It's a good game, guys.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, if you guys got to start Final Fantasy, please tell me before you do, because I got this friend recruitment thing. If you haven't played it and decide you maybe want to buy it, please tell me. I'll send you a friend recruitment so I can get some gold feathers, so I can get a dragon mount.
Fucking tweet at him or comment on the video.
Yeah, comment the video.
Or tweet at him.
Or tweet at me.
If you hear this. And also, if you hear this, the secret word is tit snicker.
Tit snicker?
Comment that in the... Get that somehow into your comment.
Tit snicker. Yeah. To make sure you actually hear this all the way through, the keyword is tit snicker.
Tit snicker.
Write that in your comment. That will let us know that you have listened to the podcast.
Cool. Music! Music will bring us out.
Cue music!
Music is good. Music is life. Music is...
very nice.
Shrekudes.
Shrek is music.
Shrek is somebody wants.
Somebody.
Good. And